Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kevin Chackwitz. This is the Kaged review. As you can see, I finally got the thing set up with my green screen. So we're going to start looking a little better here. So this is actually yesterday's Raw, so I'm pretty much caught up. I'll do SmackDowns tonight as well. Try to be on time with everything from now on. I've done a lot of trying to get 4 channels separated from one channel, and it took a lot of work. So I'm back to basics here. Back with Raw, 9/23/19. You start out with Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman cutting promos in the ring. Braun Strowman basically interrupts Seth Rollins, saying, you know, you said last week you didn't want to fight me. Seth Rollins is like, that's not exactly what I said, but I don't like how you're getting in my face, so that leads into a match later in the night. It was a pretty good opening, though. Then you get the Viking Raiders versus the OC, Gallows and Anderson. Of course, they have AJ Styles there, and of course, he is going to try to get involved at some point. So the referee ejects AJ Styles, and then you have Viking Raiders versus Gallows and Anderson. And Viking Raiders, I kind of expected to win this one just because they're big, they're being pushed, they're everything Vince McMahon likes. And so I was kind of thinking, you know what, this is probably going to be a Viking Raiders win, and yes it was, and it was a clean win at that. So, very, very cool. After that, you get Michael Cole interviews Becky Lynch. And Becky has had some really good promos lately. She's talking about how her career is manifested as opposed to what Sasha Banks has done. And really, really cool, man. Throwing some good daggers. Really passionate, you know. Really has come into her own when it comes to promos, I think. So it's very cool to see. EC3 versus Rusev after that. I don't even know why this was here. EC3 has been invisible for months and months, and Rusev just came back. Everybody likes Rusev, so you know he's going over. And that's exactly what happened. EC3 had no offense in this match. Total squash match, pointless. Rey Mysterio then has a promo saying that, you know, his son Dominic talked him into staying in wrestling, and he has a #1 contendership match tonight that he is dedicating to Dominic. Fair enough. Rey Mysterio has been damn good at promos. Like this was there, you know. It was neither really good nor really bad. It was alright. But Rey Mysterio has had some damn good promos lately. Sasha Banks with Bayley then takes on Nikki Cross with Alexa Bliss. I mean, it was a pretty good match. It was a long match. I think they really went after each other at points, and, you know, Nikki Cross is pretty aggressive in the ring, and Sasha Banks is really good. So I think it was a good blending of styles. And at the end of the day, they had the right person win. Sasha Banks finally wins clean over somebody. And, you know, that's a big thing because I've been complaining about how she just came back. They're building up this huge heel character, and they've made her just look weak as hell, dude. Like, just weak. So this was good. I really liked that they had the match with somebody credible. I really like Nikki Cross. She's a really good performer. And that they're just building up Sasha Banks now. So that's good. Then you get OC backstage promo. And OC lost, you know, their tag team match. But AJ's like, he's going to win his match going into this Fatal 5-Way. And that's really all it was. And then you get Street Profits and the Miz promo. Basically, the Miz comes in, says that Maurice had a baby girl, healthy baby girl, so that's cool. And next week on the season premiere of Raw, he's going to have Miz TV with Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair. And actually, Hulk Hogan, the name got booed wherever they were at, so that was interesting. Lacey Evans versus Ember Moon is next, and this was just sloppy as hell. Lacey Evans is not good. I'm sorry. She's garbage in the ring. And I don't like her gimmick. There are people that are big on her, and I would call them slightly mentally handicapped. Like, Lacey Evans is just bad. All the way around here. I'm sorry. It's not good. She couldn't even apply the sharpshooter. She tried to put the sharpshooter on an Ember Moon and stumbled and dropped to the ground and tried to make it sell from there. It was terrible. So Lacey Evans wins over Ember Moon, who is somebody incredibly way more talented than she is. again, she's going over somebody way better than she is. I don't get this push. Backstage, Natalya interview, just a bad interview. I'm sorry. Natalya reminds me of a soap opera actress. It's totally overdone in all the wrong moments. And that's what it came to. Then you get the Firefly Funhouse bit where a couple of his figures are fighting over a Seth Rollins doll, and he's talking about the Fiend protecting Seth Rollins, not trying to hurt him, and it was alright. It was alright. It wasn't the best Funhouse. Then you get a 24/7 bit in the ring where a bunch of people are chasing R-Truth into the ring. Carmella says, wait, I can't take this anymore. All the chasing, all the being run around everywhere. She just can't do it anymore. R-Truth hugs her. Carmella rolls up R-Truth and wins the 24/7 belt. R-Truth laughs it off, raises her hand, and then all the women come down. So now it looks like the 24/7 belt is going to shift to the women's division for a while. Then you get a Sasha and Bayley promo. I don't know. Nothing much here. Backstage, Shinsuke Nakamura and Sami Zayn bit where Sami Zayn is really overhyping Shinsuke Nakamura, and then Shinsuke finally says something in Japanese to Sami, and Sami's like, I'm sorry, you're right. So it looks like maybe there's some friction brewing there, hopefully. Because that shtick should have died before it started. Then you get King Corbin versus Chad Gable. This was essentially the same thing it was last time. It was a good match because Chad Gable is damn good. Baron Corbin, I am not a fan of. I have been very outspoken about this. When he won the King of the Ring tournament, I literally turned off my TV and watched the rest of it on YouTube the next day. I was just disgusted. So Chad Gable looks like he's going to go over. He's got Baron Corbin in the ankle lock. Baron Corbin reaches like this shillelagh type thing, his like king staff, whatever you call it, in the corner. Hits Chad Gable with it. Chad Gable gets the DQ win. Baron Corbin takes out Chad Gable with this thing after the match. You get a second AOP promo, and it was part promo. Said nobody wants to fight us, so they go out in the hall. They find a couple of guys, start beating them up. It was like, I don't even remember who it was. I think it was Heath Slater and somebody else. And then they continue the promo, the seated promo in front of the camera. And it was alright. It was alright. Then you get the Fatal 5-Way, which is Rey Mysterio, Ricochet, Robert Roode, AJ Styles, and Shinsuke Nakamura. And really good match. Some pretty good spots. When you got Rey Mysterio and Ricochet in there, you know it's going to be good. AJ Styles, you know it's going to be good. Shinsuke Nakamura. So it was a damn good match. And Robert Roode I really like too. I don't want to leave him out of that. He really is good. So, yeah, it was a fine match. A lot of good highlight spots. At the end of the day, I didn't actually think they were going to go with Rey Mysterio, but he wins. Rey Mysterio gets the win. He is now the #1 contender. So on the season premiere, he is going to be fighting Seth Rollins. So Seth Rollins has Rey Mysterio to deal with. He's got The Fiend to deal with, and he's got Braun Strowman to deal with. But yeah, it was a good match. I really liked it. Backstage, Seth Rollins interview. He's basically talking about how he's got a lot on his plate, but he's like, I know this is what comes with being world champion. So then you get Seth Rollins versus Braun Strowman. It's exactly the same thing you got from Clash of Champions. Braun Strowman tried to, bulldoze through Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins eventually fighting for a comeback. At the end of the match, though, Bray Wyatt comes out, the Fiend, of course, and attacks Braun Strowman because Strowman made some comments about Bray Wyatt earlier in the show. So Braun Strowman gets taken out by the Fiend, and the Fiend, for the second week in a row, crawls over towards Seth Rollins, who is just playing bitch in the corner, which I absolutely hate. I can't stand that. The dude is the Universal Champion. He's gone up against Brock Lesnar. He's gone up against Braun Strowman. He's won all these matches. And all of a sudden, he's just playing bitch. Doesn't make sense to me. Other than that, though, this was a really good show, in my opinion. Like, they had some really good stuff. The Viking Raiders was decent. The Becky Lynch promo was good. Rusev versus EC3 was throwaway for me. Rey Mysterio promo was decent. Sasha Banks finally gets a clean win. Actually looking strong, which is important. Lacey Evans was garbage. And honestly, Natalia's interview afterwards, I'm sorry. The Fatal 5-Way was really good, and that took pretty much the last hour of the show. And then Seth Rollins, Braun Strowman, Bray Wyatt was pretty cool too. So you had good opening, good closing, really good match toward the end, which took up a lot of time. A good match with Sasha Banks and Nikki Cross, which took up a lot of the first hour. So I feel like overall it was a good show, and a pretty good show. Obviously was not perfect. Definitely had some problems with it. But it was a lot better than last week, and honestly I think better than Clash of Champions. So I am going to give this a 7.5 out of 10. I think it was a pretty strong outing. I really liked it. I was entertained with a lot of it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. My name is Kevin Jackwitz. Kaged Nation, out.